Hi, hello guys. As you may have noticed if you were following the chat, I was just finishing up my breakfast and kind of still am. Um, so that's why I haven't really been talking until the game started. But we are into these games now. 1v1 Arabia Invitational between Yo and Goku. Group B clash. Yo's actually playing a lot of games this week. I think this is his third set of games in 3 days. So after a bit of a slow start, the tournament's proceeding very quickly for him. So far, he's come out with 3 points from all of his matchups, so looking pretty comfortable. Like he's lost a game here and there, but overall they've been pretty comfortable victories. You would say. I think this is Goku's third match after being defeated by Fire, but I can't remember who. I think he lost 3-2 to the Gao as well. So even results aside, you would make Yo the favourite here, just based on his pedigree, if you like, his past history. But let's see if Goku is able to kind of derail his forward progress so far, through the tournament so far. Game 1, of course, in the Arabia 1v1 Invitational is always Arms War, so that's what we've got here in front of us. You can see Yo in the blue colour and Goku in the red colour over the right hand side of the map. And talking of maps, let's just have a look at them. You see that Yo's got this kind of exposed main gold. It's sort of okay in terms of attack from this direction because he can defend it from on the hill, but to the south is an even bigger hill which Goku will be able to push him at, so that's not really the greatest for him. Other gold kind of way out here, not that easy to take, but he's at least got one towards the back of the map that isn't too bad. Wood lines are pretty nice for him. Actually, he's got two that he could easily put two lumber camps on, and to be honest, like, he's got some decent walling that he could do to give himself a lot of space at the back of the map, and two stones in the back is really good if he's going to get forwarded or anything like that. So pros and cons to this map, certainly the gold positions of these front two golds being the main two negatives, but otherwise I'd say it's pretty decent for Yo. Meanwhile, for Goku, things are looking a little bit more open. He can do some walling, but it's kind of far from his base, and he probably wouldn't go for a massive wall off along here. But certainly, some of these choke points on the sides of his base, he can definitely wall off. Golds are looking more or less all in the same place, actually. Although he's got back stone to defend against any kind of tower push or forward, which we know Yo does sometimes like to do. The problem is that he's got to hold on to this area. If Yo was to come here and set up a forward in this area, then Goku would be really hard pressed to actually stay in the match. Sorry for coughing, guys. Just taking a drink of water, my throat's really itchy. Alright, let's have a look at what we got. Goku is 3 on wood, so we can assume that he's going to do scouts, likewise for Yo. So both players looking like scout rushes, and Yo actually managing to push in all of his deer by this point. I didn't see whether it was a patch of 3 or 4 deer, but that's really going to be able to... well, with that, he's going to be able to do a very nice uptime and have a lot of food in the bank on his way to feudal age. You can see he's still got 5 full sheep left over. Only now bringing in the second boar as well because he's pushed in all those deer. Didn't really need to do it any earlier. Venturing over towards Goku's side of the map, sorry. It's well past the restart time, so if he manages to find Goku's second boar, which he won't do because it's coming in at the back, then he would have been able to force Goku into playing without that boar, but that's not the case. Both players actually moving out at similar times to go and scout the enemy. So we can see that, like, laming wasn't really in the intention of either player here. Possibly for Yo that could have been more towards due to the fact that he had all those deer that he could push in so easily. It was probably more advantageous to just push those deer than to try and steal a boar, to be honest. You can see that he may well run into the TC of Goku if Goku's looking. And that's a lot of HP gone off Yo's scout, which of course is critical when you're trying to do a scout rush. Hasn't yet sort of uncovered all of Goku's gold locations, so isn't aware of how potentially devastating it would be if he did. go forward on the map and try and take control of this area. But he's going to do a circle around the back, and he'll probably find that eventually, you would think. Meanwhile, Goku managing to avoid Yo's TC, almost psychically, actually. Although obviously you can always tell by, if you see enough of the different resources, then you can kind of triangulate the positions of the TC. Difference between the two players at this point, both of them going up to feudal age, but Goku with a 22 population, Scout Rush coming in, whereas Yo 21 population. So it could be the fact that Yo pushed in all those deer really early was what enabled him to click up a bit earlier. But we can also see that Goku had an extra 5 seconds of idle because Villager takes 25 seconds to produce. There's 30 second difference in the uptime, so slightly cleaner Dark Age and slightly better Dark Age for Yo, and that's going to set him up for the Feudal Age War. He'll probably be able to take the initiative because he'll be up slightly faster, and he'll probably have one more scout on the field at any one time, so he can go forward first because he'll have the sort of 4 scouts that you want to go forward with to have a decent chance of picking off a villager or something like that. Goku now running into Yo's TC after I was praising him for avoiding it almost perfectly, but not losing anywhere near as much as HP. Whereas you can see that Yo's is pretty much dead. Stable for Yo, as we predicted, getting double bit axe and horse collar in straight away. Obviously important not to miss those when you're doing a scout rush in particular. Stable for Goku as well, but with him being up slightly later, he's putting 3 villagers on it to try and build it a bit faster. Getting his economic upgrades as well. Just waiting for those first scouts to come out for Yo now. You can see that for now he's just concentrating on increasing his farm count so that he can sustain that villager and scout production. But I think he's produced a spearman at this point, which I think is a good choice. You see, some players might be tempted to produce a spearman anyway for defense, but he knows he's up faster, and if he acts quickly, he's going to have the initiative and be pushing into Goku's base, so he can skip a spear for now on. Whereas Goku, recognizing that he's on the opposite side of that he's probably going to be the one getting scouts coming to his base, he goes for a spear straight away. And a really nice pick off on, I think that was the low HP scout. Also getting a hit on the second scout as it runs by, so Yo is not really going to be doing any damage with these scouts here. Going to be having to run back with them really. Did turn around and try and pick off that weak one, but not going to be able to do that. Goku's wise to those tricks. Meanwhile, Yo's trying to bring more scouts forward, but Goku's got a good defense here. He started to wall off a lot of his map, and he's still got that spearman somewhere trying to catch up, I think. Sucks when you don't have a horse. See, that's 2 scouts down for Yo at this point versus none of Goku. So Goku's ahead now. So despite being slightly on the defensive initially, he's come off slightly better with the engagements, and now it's his turn to chase Yo back across the map and to see what he can do, what harassment or what damage. And with 4 scouts on, okay, 2 of them are heavily damaged, I was going to say, but still I think he could potentially aim for a villager kill if he's able to trap one, and the spear isn't close enough, but it is on getting into the right position to defend. Yo getting up his first range with 5 villagers on gold. Goku's just a step behind, which is a consequence of the sort of natural flow of that Huns, Scouts, Archers build order playing out when he was up 30 seconds later. May mean that once again Yo might be the first person to push forward with the archers. Early wheelbarrow coming in for Yo as well. Goku not quite ready to be doing that yet. See if he can get some downhill hits with that, those scouts and the villagers. The spearman is close by, but he may have been able to pick up a kill if he'd have gone more over towards this wood, if possible. Meanwhile, all of Yo's scouts going down actually over here. 2 spearmen. I don't think he's got one in the field at the moment. Goku just can't do anything with those scouts now. He's going for bloodlines though, because obviously he's still got his scouts on the field. I don't know if he's adding any more. I haven't seen any more being produced for him. Let's check his, if he starts producing. Oh, actually no, he's got 2 more joining, so he's got 6, even 7 scouts. 2 heavily damaged, of course. But let's see if he continues to produce scouts after the bloodlines is done, or whether he's going to stick it around 7. Going to gang up on his spearman. A loss of 1 scout, but that's going to leave him free to harass this woodline and the berries and force some idle time at least. May even get a pick off on this villager because it's kind of taking a long way around. It's trapped. That's going to be a villager. Surely that's got to be. Yeah. Now get out of there, Goku. Pretty well played by him. Gang up on the spearman of forcing that all the villagers away, as well as picking up 1 kill. He's going to try and get greedy and gang up on another spearman to let him stay here, but that's the 3rd spearman to have come across, and those scouts are looking pretty weak now. But even so, Yo's archers are pushing across the map, looking to do some damage, and the problem for them is they're just going to run straight into this tower, so no damage can be done there. And Goku didn't continue producing any more scouts, that's for sure, but switching into the 2 archery range production now. Yo may be able to hit a tiny bit of this woodline if he gets fletching like these, but that, and maybe here, but not really able to do too much damage. Goku's actually walled everywhere, so that's pretty. This map is looking pretty safe for him. Pretty much the only negative of what Goku's had to do here is that he has had to expend that stone on a tower, which is never good for adding TCs later on, because it means you need to mine some more. But with the map he had, he kind of recognised that it was perhaps necessary. I think the rest of Yo's archery army here will get cleaned up because he's got bloodline scouts chasing after them. And he doesn't have fletching yet, so unless he manages to literally target or skillfully target the weak HP one, he's probably not going to pick up any of those scouts. Clicking up to the Castle Age though, Goku's still a while away. He's only got half as much gold and 300 food still together. But there you go, with a fairly early Castle Age time. It's not really committed heavily to a feudal war. He's just done 4 scouts, I think, and then about 5 or 6 archery range units, and then gone up. He knows that because he's kind of. Oh, actually, is that another villager pick on the woodline? Why are these archery units from Goku? It's pretty nice. He's actually picked up an extra couple of villagers from Yo than Yo has of Goku. In fact, I don't think Yo has picked up a villager kill at all in this game. But yeah, as I was saying, tower on the gold from Yo, because he kind of knows that by picking up quite early and not having made too much army, he could be vulnerable on his way up to the Castle Age. But Goku doesn't have a gigantic army present in his base, at least. A lot of it is massing at home. But he's also on that 3rd archery range right now, whilst he's on his way to the Castle Age, and even before, whereas Yo didn't really build. Oh, he's just now putting up his 3rd archery range, so see the military difference is quite big between the 2 players. Almost over twice as much army for Goku. And that will have been continuing to grow whilst Goku is producing from those 3 ranges. Yo finally got fletching at least. Goku also opting for padded armour, so he got +1 defense even before he reaches the Castle Age. Please eat some baked beans. Oh my god, Pike. Okay, Yo in the Castle Age and pushing out. He's got crossbow and bodkin arrow done and +1 armour as well, so those crossbows are looking pretty scary until those upgrades come in for Goku. But as we said before, his map is looking pretty protected, but to stop the crossbows getting bold and trying to dive in past the tower or even stand at the foundation, he's first of all walled the bottom of the tower, and then he's just going to seal this opening off for now until he gets those upgrades in and can start matching Yo in terms of military power. You see that Goku shifted a lot of his wood line because he knows that once the players reach the castle age, this wood line is going to be so vulnerable to crossbows. I mean, that amount of crossbows with Bulk can probably one-shot a villager, and got the range to fire over almost every part of the forest. Look at this fight going on here. Goku's just not got the numbers to stand there and fight that, not unless whilst they are all over the place like that. But at the same time, he's moving in on Yo's wood line. He's picked up 4 villagers here, look at that. Really nice payoff for such a small amount of military units that he's actually committed. And he's been able to split, knowing that he's safe at home. He's also picking up 1 or 2 more villagers on these farms here. And on these trees. I think that like Goku, the way Goku has sealed his base off and made his map work for him has really enabled him to take the initiative here and just barely leave any army at home to defend, because he sent nearly all of it forward. Picking up 6 villagers as well. 6 villager difference, sorry. But yeah, he probably has killed 6 now by now, at least I should think. And Yo going for that early CA transition, which is always a little bit dicey for a couple of minutes, because until the CA have kind of massed up a little bit more, then crossbows with their kind of rate of fire and better ability to micro them, and normally they're in a bigger mass because we've been producing the archery units since the feudal age. They're pretty deadly to cavalry archers, extra range of course too. So you really need that cavalry archer mass and some upgrades before they start to actually be effective against the crossbows, as we can see. And Yo's going to have a hard time just gathering wood here. Just look at this wood line. That's the only place, and he can only gather wood there because Goku's crossbows have got away. It's really well played from Goku at the moment. And Yo can't really fight this army still, certainly not until these crossbows come back. So it's just wood line. I mean, he's scared that the crossbows are going to go over there and take out all those vills again. Another fight coming in here, and Goku could probably still take this if he sits on the hill, but numbers may be just about too much for Yo now with those extra few cavalry archers coming in. But even so, look at this, look at this. Oh my god, this is going to be absolute slaughter. If does Yo see it? How quickly will Yo see it? There's going to be so many villagers. 14 villager difference, 15. Yo is so behind, and he's not really been gathering wood for absolutely ages. And that's GG. Incredibly well played by Goku. Have to say it was kind of perhaps a consequence of the fact that he'd sealed off his map, which gave him the confidence to not leave his army at home and go forward, whereas when Yo sent some of his army forward, he couldn't really do anything, and then got caught out when all of this crossbows from Goku appeared in not 1 but 2 different places and stopped him gathering wood. And yeah, Yo obviously couldn't leave 20 villagers idle. He was trying to gather wood to stay in the game and to keep producing cavalry archers, and then those villagers just continually getting picked off. Really well played by Goku. Let me see what position Goku is on my scoreboard. He's on the left.